And Aaron Hain, the righty for Michigan from Poseyville, Indiana, throws home. Riley Moss bunts. Ball is dropped at first base on an inside throw from Maddie Erickson. And that is how we start game number 2. Just the way game number 1 started. With the payoff pitch is floated high up into the air, right field side. And battling the sun and eventually finding it is the freshman Ella Stevenson. Tagging from first, Riley Moss finds herself at second. Freshman campaign for number 11. Buried to deep right center field, a collision with the softball, and pumped up rightfully so is Sujin Berry as she homers and gives the Hawks a 2-0 first inning lead. Her first career home run puts Iowa up 2-0, and just like game 1, a havoc of a start for the Hawks. Exactly 300. By the swinging bat of Diaz, and here will come Greer with 2 away in the first. Well done by Aaron Sammy Diaz, and now it's off to who we will see on the mound or inside the circle in just a moment, and it takes her just 1 pitch to fly out to Ellie Sealer in left field. Another good Sealer off the end of the bat, rolled towards second, and Jenny Young cleans up out number 1. So a ground ball out to start the day for Devin Greer inside the circle. Up, she yelled back. She kind of did a half squat as Langford places down a tremendous bunt and sprints down the line for the first Wolverines hit of game number 2. Now for the sophomore from Oregon. Grounded towards short. First attempt for the newly entered Bennett. And that wipes away Erickson, who was 4 for 4 in game 1. Is now at third. Whitney Fulvin is now at first. Thole into left center field, well struck down into the alleyway. Langford comes in to score. Kiki Thole standing 2 feet tall on second base, and the Wolverines have cut the lead in half. 1.25 ERA, 1.42. And she blew it right by Valamont for her first strikeout of the afternoon, and Iowa takes a 2-1 lead, done with 1 in Ann Arbor in game 2 of our baseball. Well into game 2 over at Ray Fisher Stadium. Lined into center field and down in front of Janisa Conway. Leadoff single for Grace Baines. All trying to urge on Hain to get back into that strike zone, and she can't there. It's a 4-pitch walk to Briley Klosterman. And that gives way to Jalen Adams, who I'm sure the 1-2. Adams' sword swings through it, and Lauren Durkowski looks like Lauren Durkowski for out number 1 in the second on a bunt. And Ella McVeigh scurries towards third. And that's a 5-pitch walk to Avery Jackson to load him up for the Hawks in the second inning. For Jalen Adams inside the circle. Towards third, caught by Erickson. Throw back to second for Langford is not in time. But cat-like reflexes for Maddie Erickson in the hot corner puts the second out in the back pocket of Lauren Durkowski. For game 1 effort. 2 for 4 overall, the 1-1. That's floated left side, coming in left fielder. Sealer not going to get there. 1 run is in, 2nd run is in. Into third goes Jackson. So Baines and Klosterman score. Jenny Young extends the Hawkeye lead to 3 in the second. Two-two to Tori Bennett. Durkowski loads up and disposes of Bennett. 2 come across for Iowa in the second, but Durkowski strands a potential 2 more on this field. The 1-2. Conway swings through the fastball from Greer. Stevenson back up the middle, and a torched ball for Michigan to lead off the bottom of the second inning following the strikeout. Beyond the fence in game one. To the right side and into the glove on the first pitch of Jenna Young. 2 away, bottom of the order for an Iowa 4-1 lead. The 1-2 to McVeigh. Takes in, and she's hit by the pitch. Yeah, home plate umpire Susan Eads tapped her chest and said, yeah, it got her. So the runner on first base, Ella Stevenson, I don't think she even knew. Tough to see with the lefty. But nonetheless, Susan Eads, the home plate umpire, said, yeah, that grazed the Mays jersey. 2 apiece, Sealer, right center field, gliding over to make the catch, Grace Baines. W. Back inside the circle for Michigan, flown to right center field. And calling off center fielder Conway is the freshman Ella Stevenson. Quickly one away. Another 3-2 from Durkowski. Good shot left center field. That's going to drop and find the alleyway. Heading towards second is Baines. A throw comes in. Langford unable to apply the tag. And Grace Baines, a 2-out double, has the Hawkeyes revving their motor in the third. Off the end of the bat and dumps it into right field. Stevenson comes up throwing to the plate. Not going to be in time, but Valamont's throw goes to second, and headfirst diving back goes Klosterman, and the Hawkeyes have another run in the third to make it 5-1. With like some innings out of Dirk, as they call her here, 2-2. And she gets Adams to swing through it. Good comeback by Durkowski, but the Hawkeyes tack on another. The 1-2 on its way. Langford to short. And the substitution from inning number 1. Barry was out. Bennett throws her out. Another payoff. Erickson takes strike 3. She was a little too out in front. Greer throws to Thole. And Thole will take a walk to extend the third inning for Michigan. Valamont on the ground. Jackson picks it on the backhand. A strong throw across the diamond. X's out the Wolverines in the third. Hawks lead at 5-1. Looking for a split of our doubleheader here on a Big Ten Saturday. On the ground, Durkowski wide awake inside the circle to put away Jackson. Took the circle against Michigan State for 3 frames as Erickson gobbles it up at third, and there's quickly 2 up and 2 down for Durkowski. And slugging percentage. She pops this one up to left. And in reverse is Ella McVeigh. It's a minimal inning for Lauren Durkowski and the Wolverines in the field, as it was essentially in and out for Michigan in the field. Routine at center field off the bat of Conway as Baines, 1 pitch, 1 rounded out the effort with 2 doubles as she deposits a single into center field. Good times keep on rolling for the freshman. Offensive start when the flame was lit to start the year. 2-2 is tapped on the ground, and Greer opts for the easy one at first base. 2 away, bottom of the order for Michigan, Ella McVeigh. runs, 11 runs, 6 runs in their sweep of Purdue. That gets away from the catcher, Lindsey Stevenson takes third. And it's 1-1 with top of the order looming, and a 3-2 pitch on its way from Greer. McVeigh on the ground, bubbled towards second, and that'll do it for the Wolverines' fourth inning. 3 consecutive scoreless frames tossed up the field in Ann Arbor, Michigan. Tori Bennett leads off, grounds towards short. McVeigh pucks it out of the dirt, but can't get the throw over in time to catch the speedy Tori Bennett. Bunt is placed down. Durkowski's got one option, and it's at first base. Indiana Langford, the second baseman, is there to cover, and there's number 60. Lined back up the middle and into center field. It is bobbled by Janisa Conway, but her relay comes in time. Runners on the corners for the Hawkeyes as they are looking to score in 4 of their offensive 5 innings so far. First one into center field will drop in front of Conway. And into second base goes the pinch runner, Devin Simon. The Hawkeyes add on, and they have indeed now scored. 2-1 with Klosterman. On the ground, right side of the infield. Langford can't come up with it. The throw from Stevenson comes all the way to the plate, and Klosterman takes second in the process. 7-1 Iowa, an offense that has struggled throughout the Big Ten Conference play, has come to play today. And Jalen Adams to left field. Reversing is Sealer. Her throw will come into third. And the Hawkeyes have matched the Wolverines' total from game 1. It is 8-1 on a sacrifice fly from the only sound from the ballpark is coming from the Iowa dugout. Erickson a chance to finally end the inning for Michigan, and she does so. 8-1 Hawkeyes, a 3-piece in the 5th, and they lead it by to steal game number 2. Sealer to right center field, tracking it back to the wall is Baines, and she eventually tracks it down. Another 1-pitch out for the Wolverine Bats. Langford hit by the pitch, and a 1-out hit batsman. Greer stares in and loads up for the 1-2. Erickson rolls it back up the middle. Tough tag by the shortstop, Tori Bennett, who entered for the injured Barry in the first inning, and she has been nonstop awesome. Damage occurred in the 5th inning. 7 runs on their way to the 8-6 win. Thole to left field, crushed and gone. Well, if you're going to start it, that's the way to do it. Kiki Thole homers for the Wolverines. It's number 11, still in the team's lead. In front this time, was patient enough to hold on just a second longer, and finally strokes one out of the ballpark for the Wolverines. Lily Valamont takes ball 1. On the 3-2. Just off the corner for home plate umpire Susan Eads. 122 and 23. She mistimes the first one, and the catch is made by the catcher Lindsay, and that'll do it for the Wolverines' 5th. Fit the mold well as a depth piece as a freshman. And now, as she gets Moss to ground out to Erickson at third, She's spearheading Michigan's effort in 2024. On the ground, first base side, backhanded well by Kiki Thole, who homered in the bottom of the fifth. And there's flown to left center field. Janisa Conway battles the sun and puts away the third out, as Lauren Durkowski faces the minimum in the big shot right field off the wall for Ella Stevenson. She will come to a big halt and then continue towards second base, top first into second. Ella Stevenson continues to, like a lot of these young ladies had during their high school years. 3-1. To the backstop, Costales to first, over to third goes Stevenson, and the Wolverines have some motion. Series with Iowa will meet Michigan State for their annual Maize Out at 7 o'clock right here on Tuesday night, following up their midweek game in East Lansing on Tuesday night this past week. Ella McVeigh tosses the bat, and the bases are loaded. She has been interfered with for a second time today. Jaylee Ojo has found herself in some trouble in the sixth. Way above the head of the catcher, and now Michigan's in trouble. Stevenson dives head first. She is punched out at the plate. Heck of a play by Avery Jackson. Michigan advances their two runners, but Ella Stevenson is out at the dish for a major first out in the sixth inning. One more ball could have earned a run. There's ball four, and again, the bases are loaded. Third, McVeigh at second, Sealer at first. 3-1, Langford back up the middle. Tag to second, throw to first base is awry. Langford takes off for second base. Not only does Costales score, but McVeigh scores, and it's 8-5 in the sixth inning. So Iowa gets a much-needed second out, and Michigan trades and a two-run shot her last time up on the resume so far today. She will come to the plate with an opportunity to tie. Patiently waiting for the 3-2. Thole takes down and in, and the bases are loaded for Lily Valamont. Three runners aboard, three-run game. The 3-2 misses outside, and a clash of the Titans between Lily Valamont and Jalen Adams goes. Still 3-2, bases are loaded full of Wolverines. The 28th pitch of the inning. Conway, right field side, into the sun, into the glove of Riley Moss in right field. Jalen Adams gets the job done, but boy did she have to sweat for it. 2-2, Durkowski strikes her out looking. And a big one for Lauren in the seventh inning. 1-2 on the ground. Ilaqua, her first chance. She takes a spill and still throws out Greer at first base. Well, it doesn't always have to look pretty over there, Janelle. Nonetheless, 2 away for Lauren Durkowski and the Wolverines. 3 in the Michigan 8-6 win. Iowa looking to trade 8-6 finals. McVeigh is under it. And Iowa is 3 outs away from splitting the doubleheader with Michigan, but the Wolverines have one-two on its way home. And she strikes out Stevenson for the first in the seventh. The payoff. Costales takes ball 4, and now it's into the hands of the junior Ella McVeigh. The 5th pitch to McVeigh. Slows it down, blooped into center field, and the inning and game continues to move along for Michigan with Ellie Sealer due up for the Wolverines. Ramey on second, McVeigh on first, the 3-2 again. Sealer takes low and outside, and the Wolverines again have loaded the bases. Ramey stands on third, the speedy McVeigh on second, and Sealer on first. Langford, the 2-2, popped into center field. That's going to drop down for a single. McVeigh will have to stop at third, and Indiana Langford, her first RBI of the afternoon, brings Michigan within a single run in the 7th, and due up Maddie Erickson. Ball out of the strike zone. Judish in her 3-1. Erickson to center field. McVeigh will tag from the Block M logo. McVeigh will score. It is tied at 8. Michigan has erased the 7-run deficit that they faced heading into the bottom of the 5th. And it's 8-8. Through the 5-hole and to third base goes Sealer. Remember, sacrifice fly out of play, 2 outs. And there's the 4th one. So a wild pitch forces Iowa to go the way of an intentional base. Valamont swings at one in the dirt. Doesn't matter. All bases are occupied. And we play extra innings in this doubleheader. We've had enough softball for the day. Why not extend it at least 3-1? Durkowski determined. Not there. Klosterman leads off the 8th inning for the Hawkeyes with the walk. Comes here in the 8th inning, and she swings through it for the first out of the 8th. Advantage Durkowski on the 1-2. Tied at 8 apiece, runner on first. Big wave and a miss, and Lauren Durkowski has struck out 2 consecutive, 6 overall for the Michigan ace. Runners in scoring position, 579. Reaches out, slaps one towards right, and Stevenson is there to put it away. The Wolverines need a run in the bottom of the 8th inning to... Judish in search of the first out of the 8th. Conway wants a base runner. And Judish will win that battle as Jenna Young locates it in the sun. 1 away in the bottom of the 8th inning. And game 1, big help in Michigan's comeback effort. First pitch swinging, popped up. Jackson has out number 2 quickly in the Iowa defensive half of the 8th inning. The sophomore DP waits on the 2-2 from Judish. On its way. Ramey, fly ball, center field. It's not the Michigan mash. Maddie Ramey, her first home run in her 5th AB of the season, wins it for the Wolverines. The comeback queens of Ann Arbor. They erase a 5-0 deficit in game 1 and an 8-1 deficit in game 2. And it's the Michigan Mash indeed for Maddie Ramey. She wins it for the Wolverines, 9-8 in extras to cap the doubleheader victory for the Maize and Blue. Fans that were here for this doubleheader, 2 for the price of 1 for the Wolverines. And I'll tell you, they didn't just see 2 wins for their softball team. They saw 2 incredible games played between 2 teams that proved they can hang with the best of them in the conference. Michigan takes game 1 8-6. Iowa loses an 8-1 lead in the second game. Michigan scratches all the way back to win it 9-8.